You're live.
Well, we'll walk down. Start. Please start. Okay. Good evening, welcome. This is the Marion City Council meeting for Thursday, March 4th, 2021. Those of you joining us from home, welcome. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call, please.
Mr. Harper,
Here.
Ms. Atkins. Here. Mr. Jensen,
Here.
Mayor Abu-Wasley,
Here.
Mr. Brandt.
Here.
Piscadelia.
Here.
Mr. Sternad.
Here. Thank you. This time we have a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. First on our agenda this evening is a public forum, which is a section in the agenda that is set aside for comments from the public on any topic that is listed on the agenda, but not part of a public hearing. Do we have anyone who is asked to address the council?
Yes, Nathan Caraway.
Mr. Caraway, are you with us?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
I'm not sure if you're going to get video or not, so I'll go ahead and proceed in the essence of time. For those that don't know me, my name is Nathan Caraway. I'm a general contractor who specializes in historic renovations and takes some particular pride in the Uptown Marion district. I'm here representing Substantial Rock LLC, who has a building that was severely compromised by the derecho storm. I want to give you a little brief history about it and maybe go through what I think a course of action might be that would be good for all parties, and kind of end with some solutions that I think would be palatable to all of us. This property was purchased in kind of the excitement of the Uptown rehabilitation. Main Street, Iowa, and the Uptown Marion Main Street Association made us aware of some of the opportunities to do challenge grants, facade grants, maybe an infill project to improve the building that we purchased. Upon further examination, it became apparent that this building had received a lot of structural damage. It's still a dirt floor. It's very obvious that there was a lot of movement in the substructure of the building and that there was a lot of termite damage. So we bought some time by making this a rental property and leaving it as is and repairing the items that came up through the rental inspections over the course of the years. A lot of them were masonry related, and there were some pretty good expenses incurred to improve the safety of the building. And we kind of got into a point where we couldn't do anything with the building. It was too dangerous to work on to improve because the utility lines that surrounded it. And we explored the option of removing it, taking it down. So this is not a new project to us. We have been looking at this since about 2015 to take the building down, and we have had very little to no success in getting someone to cooperate with taking it down. So we're at kind of a stalemate now. We have a historic building that had some pretty good problems, but it got devastated by a historic storm. So the building is unsafe to work on. It poses a risk as it sits, and it poses a risk to take it down. With the proximity of the power and utility lines around the structure, it's going to be near impossible to guarantee personal safety, that we don't endanger someone's life taking it down, or let alone working on it. So I'd like to just clarify that we are not seeking money from the city for the demolition. So what we'd like to do, I mean, like the mayor, we would like to preserve the buildings if possible, but this one's just too far gone. What I would like to see is the bricks from this building be repurposed to benefit other buildings that were damaged by the derecho in the Uptown District specifically, because they're a unique brick. And the Granger House has voiced, I've talked to Vicki and Adam there, and they both have a need and a desire for the bricks. The Maidright building looks like it needs bricks, and probably a handful of others in the area. The expense to take the building down is great. And since we are not asking for that compensation, I can't afford to salvage the bricks, even though I want to. So I'm asking the council to kind of think about some creative ways for that to happen at a quick pace. I recently reached out to Kyle Zinzer, or DW Zinzer. Kyle Fisher's the general manager there. And I urged him to rebid tearing down the building. And he sent an email, which I believe you might have an attachment of that. But he did send that to me yesterday, and he said they will not tear down the building because of the dangerous of the power lines. And part of that's just my summary. You have to read the email to see exactly what he says. So the way I kind of look at this is we have a short-term and a long-term problem. The short term is that we all agree that the building is unsafe. And we also probably all agree that it's dangerous to take down without the potential loss of life because of the proximity of the close power lines. So what I'm needing is the muscle of the city staff to help push the city utilities, or not the city utilities, but the utility companies, into an immediate solution, which would probably be a short-term and a long-term solution. And so I've kind of come up with 3 different phases. To make this a little simpler, I feel like we'll start with the short-term. Phase 1, I'm asking that the city council handle the immediate relocation of the power lines to the School of Rock building and the loft above, and whatever else is affected by moving those lines. I'm not sure what lines go where, but they currently run directly over the top of the little commercial space located at 960 7th Avenue. We only need those lines relocated for about a week. I think that there's been some conversations between city staff and the utility companies on maybe one particular option, but we need your help with this. Phase 2, I will attempt to have the building torn down the week of March 15th. This is a difficult task for me, and I'm probably going to have to be involved to make this happen. We just aren't getting the cooperation of companies to come in. They don't want to touch this thing, and I understand. I completely understand, and we want this to be a safe event. And right now, it's not looking like that's possible. If we can get city council to support tonight to get that power line along 7th Avenue moved, or whatever those lines are up front, which is probably the easiest part of the project because it's a private power line, I believe. I think it's doable. Then I will do my absolute best to get the building down the week of March 15th. What I also need the city's help with is to help broker permission to use part of the Goldfinch parking lot and redirect the personnel for the pedestrians that might be going in the back entries of those businesses like the popcorn company and all those, because we want to build a safety zone around that area during the demolition, because we don't want anybody to get hurt. We also don't want a piece of equipment or machinery or debris to go into an unsuspecting pedestrian. So I'm asking the council to take action on that on our behalf. And the third phase, I'm asking the city to leverage the resources to get the utilities permanent relocated, a side project of the streetscape. I'm very much aware that this is not a fast process. So that's why I've arrived at these 3 phases. I'd love to hear your questions and input and see if you have any thoughts in a different direction. But I felt like it was a palatable solution that broke it down into 3 distinct phases that I think we can accomplish the end goal. And I don't like the building coming down. I'd love to preserve the bricks, but I'm going into great expense to take this building down. And I can't take the time and effort to sort out bricks by hand to save them, but I want to. So I'll stop there and open it up to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Mr. Caraway?
Yes, Your Honor. Grant here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Caraway, my name's Grant Harper, and I've been, I joined the city council last May. And just as a bit of introduction, long ago, I was one of the managers of customer service in Cedar Rapids for Alliant Energy and its predecessor, Iowa Electric. So I just want to first say I have sensitivity for the problem that you feel relative to how the utilities basically have that property boxed in. I would just point out, I did do a quick visit to the location the other day, and I did notice that there are utility lines in the back which may or may not be of concern relative to demolition, but I think they're probably worthwhile to be looked at given where they actually make some building entrances that are real close to your structure. I guess the only question I would have is if the utilities, Alliant specifically, but all of them that might be affected, can move fast enough in order to meet your March 15th date. And to that point, my question would be, is there something about demolition commencing on March 15th, which is time critical for you?
Can you hear me okay, Grant?
You bet. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the comments on that. There is, I mean, one of the comments that I had with city staff earlier, and I've been talking to city staff about this almost ad nauseum. I'm sure this is not a fun project for them to discuss, but I appreciate all of your efforts and help. Based on the construction season, and we've been really strong in our construction season prior to the derecho, and then that just exacerbated the lack of labor and resources just in street work, excavation work, demolition work, which is already specialized. So I do not have a company like Zinzer Demolition that will bid this project or will do this project. So this is going to be a hybrid of me pulling in some talent that I'm aware of and trying to work within the micro window of opportunity that we have to get this down. And I recognize the liability for the city and myself in this, and that's part of why that date has come into play. We are ready to pull the trigger on all the permitting and things that need to happen, but it's almost an impossibility, and that's what the urgency was of this meeting, is to get some directive that we can get this down in that time. So our intent is to start on that week and finish that week, but I have to promise and ensure safety to the people that are coming in to help me do this.
Any other questions? What's Nathan, what's going to replace this building?
Mr. Mayor, thank you for your question. We had proposed a series. We hired Martin Gardner to do some renderings back when we first started exploring the demolition of the building. And we looked at an infill project, which was fun, but not possible with the way the building currently was structurally compromised before the derecho. We proposed a 2-story or a 3-story building, and I've had conversation with Todd Steigerwald at the city of Marion to run in a 6-inch water main into the property during the streetscape so that we're not cutting up the new street. But we do not have a project that is ready to go. I'm a little bit sensitive to vacancy when, as a property owner and a landlord, and it's not good for anybody to do that. It just kind of hurts the whole area. And Marion has had some unforeseen circumstances with the derecho, and some of the new amazing development opportunities are coming. So I feel like I would time my project based on the vacancy rate being low. So I don't want to say that we have a project that's going right in. We're just identified that this is an unsafe property and we need to get it down.
Okay. And I was trying to follow along, but I just want to confirm for everybody. Can you just repeat kind of precisely? You said you're not asking the city to pay for the demolition. What is it that you're asking from the city, and does it involve expenditure of money in any way?
There would not be any compensation to me. I'm asking for resources and muscle. And so I'll go through those phases one more time.
Yeah.
Phase 1, which is, I think, very attainable. And to Grant's point, nothing really happens quickly with utilities. But I think that Alliant Energy had offered to unhook the power to the School of Rock building. I'm just going to call it the building. Between the hours of approximately 8 and 3 every day, but they had to hook it back up at the end of every day. So I think there's some flexibility that we can attain a disconnection of that line. And I believe Tom Trahern could share some conversation he had with, I don't know if it was Blackwell or somebody at Alliant Energy. So he might be someone who can share a little light on that. But phase 1 is to disconnect that line for about a week while we do the demolition. There's nothing to say it couldn't be hooked back up at the end of the day.
But
I don't know
the city's role in that is what, Nathan?
to handle whatever comes along with that request. So I would not be participating in that de-energizing or re-energizing. That's something I'm asking the city to take care of. So that's phase 1, and that's about a week. Phase 2 is that I would, assuming that line is gone and I have ample notice to still get my crew there to get the building down, is we would start the demolition about March 15th. Obviously, there's some weather dependent things. I believe all the utilities have been abandoned to this building. CenturyLink has been difficult to confirm. So I would like to ask the city's staff to help me with CenturyLink to make sure that they truly are disconnected, because we don't want to cause a problem to them either. And then we will take the building down. Along with that phase 2, I would like the city to broker an agreement with the owners of Goldfinch or whoever owns the parking lot, that we can encroach into their space so we can get dumpsters, dump trucks, some of our equipment in there to keep as much off of 7th Avenue as possible. We have a logistics problem with those utility and power lines being very low, and the fact that sometimes electricity can arc to a piece of equipment. It's going to be really hard to get debris into containers or dump trucks. And if I could have the city broker that arrangement to make sure that pedestrians are not going in and out those back entryways, and solidify us to be able to use a few of those spots in that parking lot, then that would be what my request is of the city for phase 2.
Okay.
For phase 3, I'm asking that the city leverage your resources to get the utilities permanently relocated. No timeline. I understand this takes time, and have that be a side project of the streetscape.
Okay, I appreciate you going over that again.
Sure.
Any other questions for Mr. Caraway? Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Nathan, the follow-up question would be, I mean, that's quite a bit of activity to do in the next 6 days. Do you have another potential window past the week of March 15th that may be able to work out?
There's always an opportunity that something could arrive, but I'm trying to be as proactive as possible and minimize safety to all of us. So that's the quickest opportunity and the most realistic aligning of resources and mobilization. We have to apply for a street closure. We have to get the beacons and signage put up to close part of 7th Avenue so we can load debris into trucks. We can get that time frame met on our part. And I feel like we can get into there and get that handled, but I actually need direction from you tonight to be able to make that work.
Okay, so I don't know if we'll have to let our city attorney let us know. I'm not sure that that's an agendized item to make those.
I don't believe that this is on the agenda, so it's not something that council can take a vote on.
So we're not able to take any votes tonight on it, unfortunately. So, but I do know Councilmember Sternad has a question.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Nathan, this is Randy Sternad. Can you tell us, you had made mention about Goldfinch. Have you had any personal conversations with them yet at this point about that parking lot?
I have not, I'm not sure who the new owners are. So I have not gone into that conversation, and I don't know who the other building owners are that would possibly have customers or employees coming in the rear side.
Okay, thank you. And I got a second and last question. Nathan, is there still currently a liability policy on this location for at least a minimum of liability insurance?
Insurance is in effect, and I have also reached out to my insurance agent to see that we have the proper insurances in place as additional precautions during this project. That was another conversation that was in place today. So I expect to hear back from them hopefully tomorrow based on my urgency there. One thing, Randy, maybe I failed to mention too, and I just kind of a side note, as I'm looking at the project, stepping back, I kind of wondered, I wonder how the fire department would respond to a fire or rescue in a property like this that's surrounded with the lines that exist there currently. And so when you Steve asked about the timing of the 6 days or 7 days, I totally get that. Obviously, we're all concerned about safety and I don't want to take it lightly.
Thank you, Nathan.
Okay, any other questions from Mr. Caraway?
Your Honor,
Yes, go ahead, please.
the city manager just pointed out that there is a receive and file, so it is fine to have the discussion, but there's no action item on the agenda. So I don't know how much we would be able to actually get accomplished without having an action item for you to vote on the agenda, specifically since that would potentially have the expenditure of city resources. Additionally, with one of the requests made, we have a franchise agreement in place with Alliant Energy that provides for relocation. And so there could be implications for the city of making that request as well. I was just pulling that up, and I'd want to do some more looking at that code provision in total before I offered a final opinion. But I believe that the city would be responsible for paying those costs if we make that request, and it's not for purposes of maintaining a public right-of-way for travel, which could be the case depending on how much it's blocking the alley. But I would have to talk a little bit more to Gary and Tom.
Sure, you need time to explore that and to
Yes.
come up with the definitive answer.
Yes.
Yes. Do we have everything that Mr. Caraway has outlined? Do we have that in a written form? I mean, he outlined a number of different steps.
Right.
I did not submit that, Steve.
Could you do that? And then I think everybody's got working from the same page.
Sure can.
I think you got a number of steps there. I don't think we want to miss anything as we start working through this, or have an opportunity to just start working through it.
Be happy to do that.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve. Anyone else have questions or comments on this item? for Mr. Caraway while he's with us? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on our agenda.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as follows. This will include items A1 through G1, resolutions 29282 through 29307.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented, including items A1 through G1, resolutions 29282 through 29307. Any discussion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's go ahead, Renee.
Yes, I need to abstain from A1, so it's not broken out. And what's the best way at this point, since it's been moved? Do I need to make an amendment to exclude that? Is that the smoothest way?
We'll ask the city attorney what her opinion is on that.
If Councilmember Gedalia wishes to abstain from that one, we can remove that from the consent agenda and address it following, or she could abstain from voting on the consent agenda altogether. Those would be her two options.
Okay, but it sounds like she wants to vote on the consent agenda with the exception of that one item. So maybe we ask someone to amend the motion to remove that item from the motion, which is A1.
If someone would make a motion to amend and remove A1 from the consent agenda.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and amend my motion to approve the consent agenda as follows, would be A2 through G1 and resolutions 29282 through 29307.
Second?
it's been moved and seconded to amend the motion to read approval of the consent agenda, including A2 through G1, resolutions 29282 through 29307. Discussion on that, on the amendment.
Thanks for making the amendment.
Okay, we will vote on amending the motion. So all those in favor of amending the motion, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, say no. Okay, the motion is approved. And now we have an amended motion, which reads to approve the consent agenda items A2 through G1, resolutions 29282 through 29307. Further discussion on the amended motion? All those in favor of the amended motion, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. All those abstaining? Renee?
No, she's just abstaining.
Oh, no, that's right. She's for this one. Okay, sorry. Okay, now can you make a motion for A1?
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda, including only item A1.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item A1 on the consent agenda, which is approval of the minutes of February 16th and 18th, 2021 City Council meetings. Discussion on that item? All those in favor of approving the minutes of February 16th and 18th, 2021, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. And all those abstaining?
Aye, thank you.
The motion is approved with one abstention. For the next section, I will turn over the meeting to the Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda with Mayor Abou-Osley's abstention as follows. Items A1 through E1, which include resolution 29308.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve consent agenda with Mayor Abou-Osley's abstention. Items A1 through E1, including resolution number 29308. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no. Approved with one abstention. I'll pass it back. Keep it actually.
Public hearing.
So it looks like we've got a public hearing, proposed designation of the 2021 multi-residential housing urban revitalization area. And, is that a mall?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Staff is recommending designation of the old Marion YMCA site as an urban revitalization area. Designation will give the city the flexibility of using tax abatement as an incentive to encourage redevelopment of the site. Action is consistent with our economic development policy, and staff sees the proposed development as the highest and best use that will fill a need for multi-family housing in the community.
Okay, so we will open the public hearing. Do we have anybody that is there to give comments in favor or opposed to this?
I do not have any comments.
Okay. Have we received any comments up to this point?
I have not.
Okay. Amal, any comments that you have received?
I have not.
Okay. Close the public hearing and we'll move on to the resolution.
Hey, Your Honor, I move resolution number 29309, adopting the proposed plan for the 2021 multi-residential housing urban revitalization area.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29309, adopting the proposed plan for the 2021 multi-residential housing urban revitalization area. Discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Resolution passes with one abstention.
Mayor, I move to approve ordinance number 21-04 designating an area of Marion, Iowa as the 2021 multi-residential housing urban revitalization area.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 21-04, designating an area of Marion, Iowa as the 2021 multi-residential housing urban revitalization area. Discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Passes with one abstention. I'll pass it back to the mayor.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. I move to approve resolution number 29310, awarding general obligation corporate purpose bonds, series 2021A.
Second.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilmember Harper, seconded by Councilmember Brandt, to approve resolution number 29310, awarding general obligation corporate purpose bonds, series 2021A. Discussion.
Your Honor, our financial advisor, Tiana Pua, is on the line. She'll be presenting those bid tabulation and making recommendation for you, and she'll be answering any question you have regarding this debt issuance.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Amal, and good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to give you an overview of the bond sale from today. So if you don't mind, I'm going to talk about 2021A and 2021B together. The first issue sold to Northland Securities. It was $7,410,000. You did get a AA1 rating again on both of these series of bonds. It's a very high rating. In fact, you were the only bond issue, the only competitive issue in the market today for Iowa. This compares to the projections we made. I estimated a 1.52. You actually got a 1.54. So very similar to where we expected. And you'll see here that you've got 7 bids. All of those little italicized banks underneath Robert W. Baird are syndicate members. So there were actually 31 banks interested in supporting this issue, and that is across 18 different states in the country. And we can talk about the 2021B as well. Those were sold for the purpose of refunding the 2014 C bonds. And on that issue, we did receive 2 bids. But again, one of those included the Baird Syndicate, which has 20-some banks in it. So on this issue, the true interest cost was 0.98%. My projection was a little over 1% at 102. And so actually, you got a little bit more savings. We estimated around 119,000, 120,000. You received $123,000 of savings over the life of this issue, which is about 8% of the amount that's being refunded. So that's a pretty good metric. You like to see it be at least 5% or so. So that was well received as well. In this case, the low bidder was Baird, and we would recommend that you would award the A series to Northland and the B series to Baird. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about either of these bond issues.
Okay, questions?
Okay. Well, thank you again for the opportunity to work with the city. Again, the AA1 rating is fantastic. And these bond issues came in right about where we expected. And those went well, and you will have savings. The bonds won't be refunded until June when they're due, but I'll continue working with staff and closing this issue and getting those proceeds delivered.
Thank you, Jana. We really appreciate your work and your relationship with the city.
Likewise, thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Okay, so back to our motion that is on the floor, which is approving resolution 29310, awarding the general obligation corporate purpose bond series 2021A. And then do we need to add the name of the party to whom it's being awarded?
I think if you just mention the name of the company to read it into the record.
Okay, and
There we go.
so it's Northland Securities, correct? Okay. So everyone's clear, this motion is to award Series 2021A to Northland Securities as the low bidder. Any discussion, further discussion on this? All right, we'll vote. All those in favor of the motion awarding Series 2021A to Northland Securities, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 29311, awarding general obligation urban renewal refunding bond series 2021B to Baird.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29311, awarding the general obligation urban renewal refunding bond series 2021B to Robert W. Baird and Company. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 29312, approving contract with Lynch Dallas PC regarding union negotiations.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29312, approving the contract with Lynch Dallas PC regarding union negotiations. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved. Brent.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 29313, approving partial payment number 2 to Southern Disaster Recovery LLC for emergency waterway debris removal services in the amount of $484,152.44.
Second. It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29313, approving the partial payment number 2 to Southern Disaster Recovery LLC for emergency waterway debris removal services in the amount of $484,152.44. Discussion? None? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor of resolution number 29313, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 29314, approving contract with Boomerang Corporation for emergency waterway debris removal services.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29314, approving the contract with Boomerang Corporation for emergency waterway debris removal services. Discussion. All those in favor of resolution number 29314, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved. At this time, we have a public comment period regarding oversized, overweight truck permit policy. And I see Mr. Barkalow coming forward, looking sharp.
So we'll open it up to the public, but as far as engineering, we have not received any comments. I don't know if the city clerk has.
I have not received any other comments either.
Okay, so the public comment period is now open and we're able to receive comments from the public on this measure. And no one has asked to address the council ahead of time.
Correct.
And you've just stated no one has submitted any comments.
No, I mean, I had an early conversation with Bob Rachi about it, but I haven't received anything since.
Okay, and has anyone in this time period here attempted to contact us to make comments?
I have no comments.
Okay. Okay, so do we close the public comment period at this time? Okay, so the public comment period is now closed.
Your Honor, I move to approve ordinance number 21-01, amending chapter 66, section 66.02 of the Code of Ordinances related to load and weight restrictions. Final consideration.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilmember Sternad, seconded by Councilmember Jensen, to approve ordinance number 21-01, amending chapter 66, section 66.02 of the Code of Ordinances related to load and weight restrictions. This is the final consideration. Discussion? Motion. Oh, we'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor of the motion to approve ordinance number 21-01, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 29315, approving oversized, overweight truck permit policy and associated fees.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29315, approving the oversized, overweight truck permit policy and associated fees. Discussion? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor of resolution number 29315, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved. Next on the agenda is a public hearing regarding the 2021 sidewalk ramp project. Public hearing is now open and we'll have a presentation from City Engineer Barkalow.
Yes, Your Honor. So this is the 2021 sidewalk ramp project. This replaces ramps that do not meet current ADA or Department of Justice guidelines with rumble strips. So the low bid was from Hunt Construction of $121,230, which was 92.54% of the engineer's estimate. It has a late start date of 8/2 of 21 with 30 working days and $300 per day in liquidated damages. And we are recommending approval of the contract to Hunt Construction.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we'll open the public comment period for comments from the public, either in favor or in opposition to this measure. Do we have anyone who's asked to address the council?
I have not received any comments.
Okay, and Mr. Barkle, have you received any comments outside the meeting or anyone from your department?
No, we have not.
None, okay. Is anyone attempting to contact us at this time?
No.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and move on to the resolution.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 29316, accepting bids and awarding contract to Hunt Construction Company Incorporated regarding the 2021 sidewalk ramp project in the amount of $121,230.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilmember Atkins, seconded by Councilmember Gadela to approve resolution number 29316, accepting bids and awarding contract to Hunt Construction Company, Inc. for the 2021 sidewalk ramp project in the amount of $121,230. Discussion? Questions for the city engineer? We'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor of approving resolution number 29316, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the project calendar regarding the 2021 Central Corridor, 7th Avenue from 8th Street to 12th Street pavement reconstruction and streetscaping project. This will include resolutions 29317 through 29319.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve project calendar for the 2021 Central Corridor 7th Avenue project from 8th Street to 12th Street, including resolutions 29317 through 29319. Discussion?
Yes, Your Honor, a question?
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, Mike, when will this work commence?
So the bids are due on 4/13/21. So it'll be presented at that council meeting afterwards, depending on who the contractor is. Some are able to get the contract and bond put together right away. Others are not able to do that. So as soon as they have the contract signed and the bonds in hand, they could start. For the start of the project, the demo of the existing street, that really doesn't take any lead time for products, but once they get into, say, storm sewer, those structures do have to be ordered and manufactured in order to get here in time. So there will be a little bit of lead time on there, but it'll start in the spring.
Very good, thanks.
And I do want to clarify, on Tuesday, I did say that there was a $60,000 incentive. It is actually 120,000 because it is 2 construction seasons. So there's an option there because of 2 milestones. So that is a correction that, again, we are using a carrot and a stick approach to this to try and get the project done as quickly as possible.
Okay. Any other additional questions or comments?
I have one just out of curiosity, if y'all will entertain me. Mike, I thought $1,000 a day in liquidated damages was the max, and I see here it's 2,000. Is this like a special case, or did it go up in 2021, or do you know why?
So DOT primary projects typically have a max of 1,500. A lot of them we do 1,000. Because this directly impacts business, and it would be an easier way to prove that if a business doesn't have access and cannot operate, it's much easier to prove those liquidated damages. So it's not just damages to the city, but everyone as a whole because of the project. So that's why we feel that 2,000 is adequate, and it's an incentive disincentive. So that
Right.
$2,000 goes each way.
No, I get it. And I'm not questioning the amount. I've just never seen that before. I thought 1,000 was the ceiling. So I was just curious. That makes sense. Thank you.
Just to ask the question a different way, is there a legal ceiling that we can charge for
So
liquidated
what you
damages?
have to do is, if it actually goes to court, you would have to prove what are the damages. So
Okay.
on a typical road construction project, you got to look at the extra fuel and time and staff time. So not only just the users, but also the city staff as well. For this, then we get to add in if a business has to be closed because we got to connect water to them, or they don't have access to their front door. So we can add those extra things to it. So we feel comfortable with the 2,000. I don't know that there is a max. I can tell you at the Eastern Iowa Airport, I believe it was $15,000 for every 15 minutes.
Sure.
Because you have jets landing. So it all depends on the project. So,
Sure, you just have to be able to prove the damages and
yeah, so it has to be something that you
commensurate
can
with
take
the
to
laws.
court. You know, we can put $2,000, you can put $20,000 per day if you really wanted to, but then when you go to court, you may not win.
Could never prove it. Sure, okay. Well, I think that's just interesting information for us to have.
Peeks over his shoulder.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor of approving the project calendar for the 2021 Central Corridor 7th Avenue Reconstruction Streetscape Project from 8th to 12th Streets, including resolutions 29317 through 29319, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved.
Mayor, I make a motion to receive, file, discuss, and approve the engineering department work program.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to receive, file, and discuss and approve the engineering department work program. Discussion. So do we have to vote to discuss before we discuss?
There's a lot of information in your packet.
Yeah. All right, if there's no discussion or questions, we'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to receive, file, discuss, and approve the 2020 sanitary sewer study.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to receive, file, and discuss and approve the 2020 sanitary sewer study. Question? Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Jensen?
Mike, will this sewer study be available on the city website?
We can figure out if there's a way to do it. I know even when we tried to put it on iCompass, it
Yeah.
was too big that it crashed the system.
Too big?
Yeah, so we'll see if there's a way. I mean, if people want it, we can find a way to get them a OneDrive file or something so they can get access to it. I know Medco already has it, so.
Is there a way we can put segments of it? I mean, some of it has kind of like the most critical aspects. I don't want to delineate from the importance of the entire study, but is there something we can have like an executive version so we can refer people to this? It's certainly going to be discussed over the next few years.
Yeah, I'll work with Amber and Terrell and see where we can host it.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Just a more consumable version.
Yes, yeah,
for
something that's a
people
little more
wanting to-
easier to digest. I mean, when I looked at it, I mean, I had certain pages that were more interesting to me, or at least gave me the big picture look and what was going on and where. To me, if we can answer those questions like that, for the majority of the people who may look at this, I think it's important to have that out there as we continue to move forward with this investment.
Yeah, and I can tell you a lot of the developers and stuff will be looking at it as well.
Yes, yeah.
But obviously the big thing is actually the images. That was the file that was.
Exactly, yeah. And then I think the other pages I like were where it recapped the investment needed for each of them that kind of linked to those files and those pictures. So there's a lot, those are kind of some key pages, but anyway, if we can have something out there, I think that would be a benefit.
Okay. Any additional questions or comments? All those in favor of approving the motion to receive, file, discuss, and approve the 2020 sanitary sewer study, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to direct staff to develop a sanitary sewer policy for infill and increase in density.
It's been moved and seconded to direct staff to develop a sanitary sewer policy for infill and increase in density. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to receive, file, discuss, and refer to TAC a no parking request on 27th Street near Wilkins Elementary. This is on behalf of Linn-Mar Community School District.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to receive, file, discuss, and refer to the Traffic Advisory Committee a no parking request on 27th Street near Wilkins Elementary. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to receive, file, and discuss, receive, file, discuss, and refer to TAP a no parking request from the fire department.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to receive, file, discuss, and refer to the Traffic Advisory Committee a no parking request. This is for the 3rd Street.
Yeah, in general, the fire request is going to be that area north of 29th Avenue. So looking at the whole area holistically.
Right. Okay, this is for the area north of 29th Avenue. The north-south streets there, right? Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved. I will turn over the meeting to Mayor Pro Tem for the next several items.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to receive, file, and discuss an application for future major streets, oversizing cost reimbursements in association with Echo Ridge Estates 4th Edition.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to receive, file, and discuss an application for future major streets oversizing cost reimbursements in association with Echo Ridge Estates 4th Edition. Questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Passes with one abstention. Public hearing now for the 2021 HMA resurfacing project. Mike.
Yes, so for this project, we received one bid from LA Pelling at a cost of $1,062,824.30. It was 107.35% of the engineer's estimate. There is a budget of only $1 million. So a lot of this, as we peel that existing HMA service off and see what the condition is underneath the street, we may have to make modifications, but we'll stay within that $1 million. Similarly, last year, we took 10th Avenue out because of issues that we found on other streets. It does have a completion date of no later than 9/3/21 with $300 per day in liquidated damages.
We'll open the public hearing, excuse me. Do we have anybody that's sent in comments, Rachel, or waiting to make comments?
I have received no comments.
Okay. Anything from you, Mike?
Nope, no comments from the engineering department.
Okay. All right, we'll close the public hearing and move on to the resolution.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve resolution number 29320, accepting bids and awarding contract to LL Pelling Company Inc. regarding the 2021 HMA resurfacing project in the amount of $1,062,824.30.
Second.
Okay, everybody's excited. It's been moved and seconded, moved by Mr. Brandt and seconded by, I think, Councilmember Gedalia, if I heard that right. To approve resolution number 29320, accepting bids and awarding the contract to LL Pelling Company Incorporated regarding the 2021 HMA resurfacing project in the amount of $1,062,824.30. Questions or discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Resolution passes with one abstention. Now we've got a public hearing for CMAR Phase 4 project in the city of Marion from the east side of Indian Creek Bridge over Marion Boulevard to 7th Street. Twin continuous welded girder bridge and PCC trail. All you, Mike.
All right, so for this, the DOT received 4 bids for us. The low bid was from Peterson Contracting Incorporated, or PCI, at $1,619,306.20. It was 81.3% of the engineer's estimate. Originally, the late start date was 6/7/21. However, due to the backlog of steel, it was moved to 8/9/21 as part of an addendum on the contract. It has 95 working days and $1,000 per day in liquidated damages.
Okay, well, that's what, 2 months, right? An adjustment by 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, have we received any comments, or is there anybody waiting to make comments for or against this during the public hearing, Rachel?
I have not received any comments.
Anything from you, Mike?
Nothing from engineering.
Okay. So the public hearing is closed. We'll move on to the resolution.
Hey, Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 29321, accepting bids and awarding contract to Peterson Contractors, Inc. regarding the CMAR Phase 4 project in the city of Marion from the east side of Indian Creek Bridge over Marion Boulevard to 7th Street, twin continuous welded girder bridge and PCC trail in the amount of $1,619,306.20.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29321, accepting bids and awarding the contract to Peterson Contractors Incorporated, the CMAR Phase 4 project in the city of Marion from the east side of Indian Creek Bridge over Marion Boulevard to 7th Street, twin continuous welded girder bridge and PCC trail, the amount of $1,619,306.20. Questions or discussion? Yes, well.
I just want to say again, the number 2 Brandt Construction, that is no relation to myself.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Resolution passes with one abstention. I will, oh, there's one more, I guess. I will keep it for this one more.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve resolution number 29322, approving the Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust Central Corridor Review for property located at 700 25th Street, Marion, Iowa. This will be Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29322, approving the Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust Central Corridor Review for property located at 700 25th Street in Marion. Questions or discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Resolution passes with one abstention. Now I'll pass it back to the mayor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I move to approve ordinance number 21-02, approving a request to rezone property from A1 rural restricted and R2 medium density single family residential to P1 public institutional for properties located at 655, 675, and 777 South 15th Street This is Marion Independent School District.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the final consideration of ordinance number 21-02, approving the rezoning of the properties at 655, 675, and 777 South 15th Street to public institutional. Discussion. All those in favor of approving the final consideration of ordinance 21-02, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 29323, approving Green Acres First Edition Final Plat and Memorandum of Agreement for property located at 2369 Highway 13, Marion, Iowa. Green Acres Storage LLC.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 29323, approving Green Acres First Edition, Final Plat and Memorandum of Agreement for 2369 Highway 13. Discussion? All those in favor of approving resolution number 29323, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to receive and file letter requesting assistance for the demolition of the building located at 958 7th Avenue, and this is from Substantial Rock LLC.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file the letter requesting assistance for the demolition of the building located at 958 7th Avenue. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor of receiving and filing the request, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved. Okay, at this time, we have a public forum, which is time set aside for comments from the public on any topic or any item. Do we have anyone who's asked to address the council?
I do not see anybody. No.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on. If someone does contact you, just let me know. We'll move on to comments from the city council. We'll start with those who are joining us via Zoom. Councilmember Gadela, would you like to go first?
Sure, but I don't have anything. Thank you, though.
Okay. Councilmember Harper?
Yes, just one item, Your Honor. As I mentioned to a few of you here earlier today, I just completed my second round of vaccine inoculation, and I am greatly pleased with how that process went. I would just, as somewhat of a public service announcement, say, while I did have some side effects from the second shot, they were relatively mild. So I would encourage everybody, when they get a chance to receive a vaccine, to do so. With that having been completed, I look forward to joining all of my council colleagues back in person at the next round of city council meetings.
Is that a threat?
It's been so nice without it.
Thank you, Grant. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, well, we're excited to get you back, Grant. So that's great news. Just one quick reminder that next Thursday, so a week from today, 5 p.m. is the next Equity Task Force meeting. So if folks are interested to sort of learn what we're doing, I encourage you to jump in and take a listen. That's all I've got.
Okay. Councilmember Sternad.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to give a kudos out to Lon. I participated in the presentation today with the CBJ Commercial Real Estate presentation. As a council member, I could not have been more proud of that presentation. It was truly an eye opener to see where we are stacked up against our community leaders and members and communities in the general area as far as the amount of projects going on and the new construction, the reconstruction. It was really overwhelming, and very proud to be able to witness that presentation. It was put together very well today, I thought, Lon. I don't know of a department that wasn't represented there, or a developer, or any of our community leaders as far as business owners. It was just a great presentation. It's great to see those drone photographs and those some wonderful shots. And so I just wanted to give Lon a kudos there today. I thought that was a great representation of our city. You did an excellent job, and I enjoyed watching that. Which leads me into the segue of the water debris cleanup. I live over by the Linegar Park area there off of Geode, and I get to witness and watch those trucks move in and out of that particular area there, watch them get stuck a few times in there. It's incredible to witness and watch, and to actually see what is actually, the after effect, if you will, or the matter of the differences. The bittersweet process of this deal, I think, will lead us to a great future in our waterways, to see those backed up. As an insurance agent, it's very difficult to have those conversations with individuals about water sewer backups in their basements, and all of our waterways being cleared out certainly helps in a lot of aspects. So whether you enjoy the nature of being out there, people will reap the rewards of keeping the water flowing in the right direction. There's also, I've had a great opportunity to visit with people who are super excited about the Parks Department starting their signups again for the activities for the summertime with kids and their sports events. It truly feels like there's a little bit of a spring in our step, and things will start to be moving back into a normalcy, and that's super exciting. I think that's resonating across our community, where people are starting to get back out and get back in the flow of things. So again, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Councilmember Jensen.
Yeah, I also watched the Commercial Real Estate Symposium, and I agree with Randy's comment. Lon did an excellent job representing our city and outlining the projects. And the city of Marion was also one of the key sponsors for that symposium. My second comment is to congratulate the Marion Independent School District on that absolutely overwhelming support for the $31 million in bonds. Again, I've lived in Marion a very, very long time, and to see that kind of support is just absolutely incredible. It's an investment that that school district is going to benefit from, for the next 20 to 30 years. So it's touching almost every building in the school district. Everything they've outlined, everything they're going to do is necessary and important. So I congratulate them and look forward to all of the changes that that school district will be having in the next 3 to 4 years.
Thank you. Councilmember Grant.
I was also going to congratulate the Marion Independent School District and also congratulate the students for Marion Independent, because they're the ones that are going to benefit from the bond passing. So it's a huge deal, and I'm excited to see the progress that they're going to make. So that's all.
Okay. Yeah, for my part, I'd like to congratulate the school district. It was an outstanding response, and an indication of such great support for the students and their future. And it shows who Marionites are, that we're willing to invest in our future and our kids. I've asked Chief Crable if she would line up a tour of the fire station for the council. So we're working on that, that we could just walk through and see how things are going and how it's coming. So I think you'll be hearing from her on that. As far we all received a communication about signing the beam for the library project. I'd like to know when everyone's going. I'd like to go when others are going. I think it's such a big project, and it's such an exciting project for the city, an important project that I'd like to, celebrate that that event with everyone and sign it at the same time as other people. If you'd let me know when you plan to go. And finally, I would like to thank Lon. I wasn't able to attend the symposium today, but I did hear from others that it was a great program, and that Lon did a great job. And we're in a period where you almost have to select what you're going to talk about. And I remember when there were times when in the past, I think many of us probably remember when Marion wasn't even at the table and didn't have those opportunities. And we've come a long ways, and we have so much to be proud of and so much to be happy about. And glad that we're getting these opportunities to share that in the region and draw the attention of investors and businesses and others in the region. And we certainly are doing that. And it's just a great time to be involved and to be here in Marion. And we all should be very proud. So just encourage everyone now as spring is coming, there's going to be a lot more visible in the community in terms of construction projects and things going on. And hopefully we'll be able to get back to some type of community events that we've all been so used to. And we'll be able to get out and see our neighbors and see each other and experience community. So looking forward to the coming months. Thank you very much for the meeting this evening, and we will see everyone next time. Enjoy the weekend. Meeting is adjourned.